Hey everyone, welcome back for part 2 of our bunkhouse build series. In this video, you will follow us as we start to gain some elevation with our build. Today we're going to finish off the foundation pads, build and insulate our floor, and build our walls. We hope you enjoy. Just to give you a little background on us, I am not a professional builder, but this is also not the first building that I've built. Most of my knowledge comes from working alongside our contractor when we rebuilt our house. From then it was just trial and error. The overall idea of any structure is that as you work your way up, everything under what you build needs to support the weight of what you placed on it. This starts with the foundation. I estimated this structure was going to weigh somewhere between 3,500 and 4,000 pounds. All of that weight needed to sit on the 6x6s and the foundation pads we used. That means each pad and 6x6 will be holding about 650 pounds. The load capacity of a 6x6, the length we used, is somewhere around 20,000 pounds. So we should be alright. We could have gone with 4x4s, but with the shifting that will happen with the foundation pads on the Tundra, I went with 6x6s to help with stability. It didn't take me long to realize that building this cabin was going to be so much harder because of the snow and the cold. Once we got the frame squared and fairly level, we had to go back and readjust some of the foundation pads.
Having fun?
Of course.
Good.
We then also installed the 2 center pads and supports. I fully anticipate this is not the last time we'll be making adjustments under this cabin. I will make sure to post a video of how this foundation survived the thaw if we get out to the cabin this summer. After we go through a thaw and refreeze cycle, I think the adjustments will be more minor. We put in these 2x6s to help hold up the floor joists, as well as help with stability for the posts. From here, the rest of the floor framing is simple. Just add 2x8s every 16 inches and we're good to go. Many of you know that we have a sawmill, but you're looking at these materials thinking that they're store-bought. You're right. We didn't have time to mill all the materials for this project. Also, finding trees large enough around us to get 16-foot 2x8s is hard. So we purchased the material for the floor, but everything else from the walls up we milled ourselves. Sometimes it's important to remember that the journey is more important than the destination. There's no one else I'd rather be on this journey with.
Hey everybody, we're back out of the property. It's been about a month since we've been here. So we're going to dig some things out, get a little bit of snow off that we've had, and get to work.
To finish off the floor and finally get off the uneven, stump-filled frozen tundra, we needed to sheet the floor top and bottom and insulate in between. The reason we needed to put sheeting on the bottom of the floor is to protect the insulation from squirrels and other animals that wanted to steal it and use it for their own cabins. We were able to salvage the insulation from the old abandoned cabin. We took it home, dried it out in our shop for about a month, and then rolled it into place. We also salvaged some plywood to use for the sheeting on the underside of the floor. Normally, while laying a subfloor, I would use construction adhesive on the floor joists. When working at 5 degrees, it doesn't work so well. Because of this, I'm just adding 2 nails per joist, and we'll finish the rest off with screws to hopefully avoid a squeaky floor. What did we do today?
We built the floor. Well, we insulated the floor and put the top on the floor.
Nice.
Hey everybody, today's job is to get some more lumber together for the cabin. You can see the lumber rack there behind me. We've got quite a bit of the material we need for the cabin, but a lot of the wall 2x4s we still need to mill up. I think I'm about 35 boards short from that at this point. So I've got these logs behind me that Chelsea and I hauled in a couple of weeks ago. And so hopefully we'll be able to get what we need out of that at least. There are a few roof rafters and some beams and stuff I still need to find some trees for, but we'll get to that another day. So today's just milling some stuff up. I've got a couple of hours here. Hopefully I can get everything I need done today. If not, we'll have to do it tomorrow.
If you enjoy watching me run the mill, you can check out some of the videos we did last fall. We're also looking forward to a number of projects this summer that will involve the mill, so please subscribe so that you can be notified of those videos when we drop them. When it comes to building walls, it is really quite simple, but it is important to start with a plan. For our walls, we decided to lay out the studs 24 inches on center. We started with the west wall because it was the most basic without any doors or windows. The back half of our cabin is going to have a loft, so rather than just 2x4 studs, we used 4x4s that the loft supports would then sit on. We sistered 2x4s along the side of the 4x4s to hold the top plate in place until the beams for the loft could be set. The front part of this wall is shorter to leave room for the 13-foot beams that will carry the load of the roof overhang above the porch. We decided to put the wall sheeting on this wall with the hopes that it wouldn't be too heavy for the two of us to set up. This ensured that the wall stayed square while we put it into place. We had some friends visiting from Pennsylvania, and they joined us for a day and helped us with walls 2 and 3.
That's better.
Second wall, done.
When placing doors and windows, you need to make sure the load above it is not placed on the door or window itself, but it is carried to the side of the door or window and then down to the floor. This is done with a header. The thickness of the header depends on how much load is above it. For our build, our doors and windows were all on gable ends or under our big porch beams, so there was no load on these locations. So we just used 4x4s for the headers. These headers are extended beyond the rough opening of the window so they can be supported by studs called jack studs. Then this is all tied together on the outside by a king stud. To finish off, you need to make sure there is still a stud every 24 inches or 16 or 12 or whatever your normal stud width is. This is accomplished by cripple studs above your headers as well as below your sills on windows. This will make sure that your interior and exterior siding has something to attach to. That's it. Pretty simple. It gets a little more complicated when you add odd-shaped windows like we did, but the same concepts still apply. Take the load from the roof and bring it down to the ground, not crushing anything along the way. But remember, I'm not a professional builder, so don't take my word for it.
I caught it.
So we'll stand this up.
It sure is awesome having great friends to help you out.
We're up at the cabin. We made the trip. Rayleigh made it up the hill like a champion with the sled for the first time. What are we doing today?
Putting up the last wall and maybe some flooring up on the loft.
Yeah, we're gonna get the wall that we're currently sitting. We're sitting where it belongs. So I'm currently sitting at the front door. Got the loft up there. Got the beams up last time we were here with Benjamin and Michaela, and today we're gonna put some plywood down as a temporary floor for that. We're gonna do some tongue and groove later. We're hopefully gonna mill that up this summer and get it back up here and put it in next year. But we want to use the cabinet this year, so we're gonna put some plywood there in its place. That will also protect the floor underneath and give us somewhere we can store all of our stuff here, except the area right underneath the cabin, which is where we've been storing everything, and it's been serving as our lumber yard. So got a few more boards to haul off the sled over to the cabin, and then we'll get going on assembling this front wall. Cracked my nutter butter. Did we do it?
Yeah.
What were we supposed to do?
We're supposed to get up this wall and the roof and some flooring on the loft, and we did it all.
Flooring on the loft. It's up there. Temporary. Some plywood that we found in the other cabin's got some mold on it, so we're gonna get rid of it before we actually stay here. But for now, it'll help with construction. And we got the front wall done. Still have the windows to cut out, but we'll do that later. I would say it's a successful day. I was gonna try to lay out the rafters and bring those back so I can cut the rest of them in the shop, but I will do that tomorrow when we come back and set the beams. Because we're tired. All right, that's all we have for today.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed our adventure so far. Check out part 3 where we finish getting the cabin weathered in. Thanks for watching.